Yo, Still Bills, what's the deal, man? Yo, I'm finally heading home finally after a nice little day at work and picking up my little man from my mom's house. Going home, and I still gotta cook for these little heathens, man. But peep game, I want to get into some shit, right? We had a real eventful weekend this week in boxing. We had the Tyson Fury and Usmanbek Makhmudov fight. We had Conor Bennett, Regis Prograis. I honestly wasn't interested in that fight. The only fight that I was interested on that card was the Justice Hooney versus Frazier Clark. I think despite what happened to Justice Hooney in front of Fabio Wardley last year, that he's a quality heavyweight, and I think personally one of the top heavyweights in the division because he was dominating Fabio Wardley. He was dominating him. He got caught in an exchange, and he got caught in a 50-50 exchange, and that's where Fabio Wardley is most dangerous at. And he paid dearly for it, but nonetheless, up until that point in the fight, he was dominating that fight, and that was a short notice opponent as well, man. So I don't want him to get discouraged off of that loss. It happens. It is what it is. But for him to bounce back with a common opponent and beat him in allegedly the manner that he beat him in, I think that's a step in the right direction for him. So now we can get back on the path to title contention. But the fight that I really want to talk about, for starters, was the Friday fight with Osley Igleasis, man. Man, listen, I've said it once and I'm gonna say it again. Reinvest your stock in Osley Igleasis that you have in David Morrell. The dude is already a champion. Man. David Morrell and his, just the powers behind him, it was a conglomerate of, the anti-Canelo and him being a PBC fighter that put him in the position as far as prestige goes without having to earn it. People swear, even to this day, they swear that he's the, is David Benavidez, and then he's after David. Is Bivol better be David Benavidez, and then it's David Morrell. That's how highly they think of this nigga when he's done nothing to prove the contrary. He's done nothing to prove that to be true. He's a good fighter, man, but I'm gonna be real. And I might sound fucked up for saying this, but I don't think a fight with David Morrell and Ben Whitaker is out of the realm of possibility. If David Morrell and Ben Whitaker faced off, that fight would fuck around and go like Mutataya and Cruz win, which would simply be Cruz just didn't have 11 and 12 round experience. Mutataya has been all 12. That's how I see it. I don't think highly of David Morrell. He's a good fighter, but everybody keep dragging this nigga like he's just the next best thing, and it's just not the case. It's just not the case, and I've been telling people for close to a year now, man. Since he knocked out Vladimir Shishkin, reinvest your stock from David Morrell into Osley Igleasis, because I just think he's a better put together fighter. I think he's better not seasoned, but I think he's better groomed. He's definitely better groomed. He's more grounded in the sport. You know what I'm saying? Like with David Morrell, he got away with imposing his will on everybody and using his athleticism. The minute that shit ran its course, is like he can't be creative in his offense after that. If you figure some shit out early on in the fight, he spends a multitude of rounds trying to figure out how he can get creative in his offense. It creates nah, bro, no, that's just not how it goes, man. At least it's not for someone who's supposed to be as highly touted as you are. Osley Igleasis doesn't have that problem. Now, granted, he hasn't fought the caliber of opponents that David Morrell has. No, I'd be lying if I said he did. But I have let me see. Osley Igleasis fought Vladimir Shishkin. Shishkin was a legitimate champion, not a champion, but a legitimate top 10 opponent in the division. The top 10 to top 15. That's right around the rankings that Radavalle Kalajic was when they fought. When David, when he had first jumped up to into the light heavyweight, and he looked bad up there. He didn't look piss poor, but that's when the writing was on the wall with David Morrell. Like, all right, my nigga, like, nah, we might have to pump the brakes on you. Osley Igleasis didn't have any problems with Vladimir Shishkin. He went in there and he stepped on him. He went up there and he stepped on him in emphatic fashion. And then just the fight that he had on Friday stepped on him. Now he's a champion. Now he's a champion. Now he's a legitimate player in the division. Now he has a reason for people to come and seek him out. I'm with all that. I'm with all that, man. That was a real good fight. Real good uppercut, lead uppercut, man. Just the first round busted his eye open. I'm like, yeah, this is about to end bad. You know what I'm saying? And what ended up happening, it ended bad. And he got that IBF strap, man. Shout out to Osley Igleasis, man. I love it. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. This division is one of the, it's probably top 3 deepest divisions in the sport, bro. It's probably top 3 deepest divisions. Top 3 deepest divisions. So yeah, man. I think Osley Igleasis has a, he has a better offensive attack. Than David Morrell. He has a better offensive attack. It's a lot more dynamic, a lot more creative. Now I won't even say that. I won't, because honestly, just sometimes people throw the same combinations, or they have a favorite pattern that they like to throw. But the thing is, it's the placement of the punches. He's effective with it. It's effective with it, man. That right hook is devious. He's a real standard textbook boxer. Real fundamentally sound. Really good feet, good defense, man. Good range, good ability to throw, and dictate the distance and the spacing, man. He is better than David Morrell. He's better. And this is, it aggravates me when people I don't like people being prematurely ordained as demons, bro. Them niggas is not like that. A lot of niggas is not like that. David Morrell is a good fighter, man. Just stop amping him. People think that he about to go in there and just knock out Callum Smith whenever they get this fight over the line. I don't see it happening. Y'all already, I posted my prediction on how I see that fight going. Stop preordaining these niggas. Let them earn it. That's all I ask, man. Let motherfuckers earn their keep. Niggas don't earn their keep, man. And when they don't earn their keep, they get, they just get, lured into this false sense of security, man. And David Morrell and a lot of these fans about, they getting rocked with this false sense of security. Even Katayev and him beating Katayev, bro, could anybody else in the division not attached to David Benavidez went in there and looked the way that he looked against Katayev and still got a lot of praise for it, looking at, oh man, Katayev, that dude is a beast. He a beast. Which he is a beast. Nobody is doubting that. I think he's a player and a factor in the division. But he had yet to prove that. Why does he have to prove that he's a beast in front of you when he doesn't have the same level of experience that you have? Doesn't make sense. But I salute him for not being scared that, you know what I'm saying? He ain't ducking no fade. I salute that. And maybe Ismail Salas can bring some, really bring, buff out the, the holes in his game. It's a possibility. But as of now, my stock is reinvested in Osley Igleasis. I just think he's better. Better fundamentals. I don't think he really, he's not really. I don't think David Morrell's, is a super showboat like that. Outside of him doing the Ali shuffle, he doesn't punch like how Jaron Ennis does, trying to play to the crowd or nothing like that. I don't think it's that drastic. I don't think it's that drastic and that drag out. I don't, but I just think, he is athletic. He's explosive. He does want to play to the crowd. He does want the knockout. He just gets lost in his offense. And that leads to him getting hit a lot. He's not as quick on the counter as someone like Osley Igleasis. Now let's see how he look. Let's see if Osley Igleasis can repeat that performance that he's given us in front of Vladimir Shishkin and the last dude that he fought. If he can do that in front of Jaime Munguia, Lester Martinez, Christian Mobili, Diego Pacheco, Hamza Shiraz, I have no doubt in my mind that he would do that to Caleb Plant. If he could do that shit in front of Resendiz, which I think he'd knock him out. If he could do that in front of Ramadan, I mean, it's a multitude of fighters in that division is so fucking thick, it's so deep. That division is deep as a motherfucker, man. If he can repeat those, performances, if he can, repeat that in front of a Bruno Sriracha, if he can repeat that in front of Eric Bassinian, which I think he can as well, but if he can repeat that in front of a Darius Foljam, a Bektamir Melakuziev, dudes in the top 10, top 15, who's seasoned and been in there with some, with some reputables, then absolutely. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Yes. It's beyond this shadow of a doubt that he's better than David Morrell. I'm saying he's better than David Morrell in the now, just because I just think he's better groomed, and I just think he's sharper, man. I just think he's overall better. I just think he sees the openings better. If someone is picking up on his punch patterns, he's creative enough in his offense to find a way around that, to adjust to the adjustment. That's how I feel about it, man. So David Morrell, the jury is still, I'm not even, because I'm just, maybe Ismail Salas can bring something out of him, like I just said, man. But I just think you are who you are. You are who you are, man. And you're like 3 bad performances. Not bad. I knew that David Benavidez was going to beat him. But for as highly as this dude is touted in the eyes of a lot of people, he just should have been able to have better performances in front of the level of opposition that he's been in front of. And he's yet to do. He hasn't had the performances, man. He hasn't had the performances. Vosdick knocked down, put Hot Rod on his ass about 2 or 3 times in that fight. David Morrell never got close. You can show him clemency. Yeah, that was his introduction fight into the division, man. But yo, they swearing to God, you next up. You the next pound for pound kingpin. Go in there and you look the way that you look in front of David Benavidez, which was to be expected in my personal opinion. But then you go in there and you look the way that you look in front of a dude who nobody was saying that. Niggas had to go look his highlight reels and shit up to know who he was. And we knew going into the fight, yo, I don't think this dude is about to be an easy touch. This ain't no layup right here. This ain't no layup right here. And then you arguably, not even arguably, I don't see how anybody can give him that fight. Katayev won that fight. I'm not about to divulge back into that again, man. But just in the last 3 fights, you have not proven to anybody that you are the stellar level of opposition that people swear you are. Thanks to PBC, thanks to David Benavidez, you get the extra credit for without having to do anything to prove that you're worthy of that extra credit. So I say that to say this once again for the umpteenth time. Reinvest the stock that y'all have in David Morrell into Osley Igleasis. Because he has a brighter future. He has a brighter future. Until proven otherwise, of course, man. I'm not Nostradamus. Shout out to my man Nas. I'm not Nostradamus. I can't tell the future. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell the future. But what I can say is I'm far more impressed with Osley Igleasis based on what I've seen thus far. I'm far more impressed. And I don't doubt Osley Igleasis integrates himself into the light heavyweight division in the next year or 2. So he's gonna be up there. David Morrell damn sure ain't finna go up to no cruiserweight. He'll be up there as well. And we can officially get that, get them fools to face off in the ring and see how them niggas, see which one of the niggas come out on top. You already know where my vote is going in that regard. But shout out to Osley Igleasis, man. Good win, great win, dominant win. Let's see where you go next, man. And that's another thing, man. Even with the ring size, man, the tiger rings, man, I'm not mad at that shit, bro. I kind of welcome it. I kind of welcome that shit, man. It's a fight at the end of the day. It ain't a track meet. So I welcome that shit, man. But that's neither here nor there. Shout out Osley. What are you? This fucking woman, this wife of mine is a nutcase. Shout out Osley Igleasis, man. Oh my Lord, my daughter. Deuces.